Man, Sokka was hooking up with all the baddies though. Like, what the? This dude was the goofy dude, and he was dating the moon, badass warrior princess. What the?
Make some noise!
Oh yeah, I forgot Avatar. I forgot about Avatar. Let me see. A lot of people thought that it was crazy that I had not actually seen Avatar. A lot of people thought it was crazy that I had not seen Avatar. But I was definitely nowhere near like I think the age that Avatar was meant for, I was definitely well past that age. And it didn't make a difference because I was watching like fucking Adult Swim and shit anyways, right? Not knocking it, but it was on Nickelodeon. I was into some much harder shit, right? Like, you telling me to watch this, and I'm like, bro, I've been watching like Berserk, bro. Like, you want me to watch little kids fight? Like, are you fucking kidding me? You think I give a fuck about this little kid Zuko? This dude, man. So what if he's got a burn mark on his eye and his dad beat his ass? I don't give a fuck about none of that. But now I do give a fuck about all of that. I mean, I'm gonna just be real. Like, it sucks that it took me way too long to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. It took me way too long. Like, I know it took me too long because, like, I legit, like, reconsidered that entire fucking movie made by M. Night Shyamalan. That definitely shit on this movie. Now that I've seen Avatar: The Last Airbender show, I'm really pissed off at M. Night Shyamalan. Like, I was a fan of M. Night Shyamalan, and it's because of mostly the movie Unbreakable, and I still love that movie, and I don't really give a fuck what anybody says about it. But he really did shit on the Avatar series. Now that I've seen it, I can say with 100% assurity that M. Night Shyamalan definitely fucked up Avatar: The Last Airbender. The show was ridiculous. After looking at this, I have like a lot more respect for it. But let me. So season one was a little weird to me. Season one was odd because I felt like it didn't mesh really well at first. Like, at first, it was not meshing well, if you ask me. Like, it just felt like the voice acting was weird. Like, it just didn't mash up. But the story was still kind of like, you know, it still had me. But also, when I went back and I actually watched the series, I found out that I had seen a few of these episodes before. Like, I saw Toph fight, and I didn't know who Toph was, or Toph was, excuse me. I keep saying Toph, but I forgot completely about it. But, like, Avatar, and I definitely, I'm paraphrasing, please, and I might be wrong. I might be explaining a little wrong, but this, to my understanding, right? So the Avatar was like supposed to bring balance, or stop the Fire Nation for sure. Was supposed to stop the Fire Nation for sure, right? But disappeared like 100 years before any of it could like transpire, right? And the Fire Nation was looking for this bender, right? That was supposed to be, you know, the end of the Fire Nation, right? And it gets very complicated because you have this kid Zuko who's looking for the Avatar at all times. You have the Fire Nation who kind of believe that he's there, and they don't until he actually is. You have like Aang still struggling to actually become this airbender, and he's dealing with like a bunch of shit, right? Like, he felt like he abandoned a lot of the people of Earth, or of the world, I guess, and of these different like respectful places. And he dealt with like a lot, right? It was like kind of like some imposter syndrome he dealt with. And I could be just sizing this up, but like that's what it seems like, right? Also, just the fact that like they deal with in the show how he didn't want to be like an airbender at times. And just like so for the characters, right? We got like Aang, Sokka, Katara, Toph, Prince Zuko, Azula, but like the main cast is pretty spot on, right? Like, and they also have a bunch of characters that they meet along the way who kind of come back into play, like the kid who had his own little ragtag group who had like the straw thing out his mouth that eventually died, you know, which is crazy to me because I didn't think they was gonna give us a show, a Nickelodeon show where they got little kids getting offed and shit. That shit's weird. He didn't want to be the Avatar, not an airbender, excuse me, thank you. Yeah, and then whenever the Avatar dies, another one is born immediately. So they knew the Avatar didn't die because there was no new Avatar. So first season was world building season. But I get what you mean with the slow though. Yeah, it like for me, it definitely took its paces, right? Only in book one though. Only in book one though. What's up with you, Weeb Triple E? Only in book one though. Book one was where I had my like, man, I don't know about this. I'm like, you know, but like it definitely got better, right? And the voice actors was which for me, like they had some pretty strong like voice actors, right? Dante Bosco, Rufio, Mai Whitman, Mark Hamill, Kayla Jill Murphy as well. Zach Tyler is a pretty popular voice actor. Jason Isaacs is another one. So they definitely had like a lot of like premier voice talent like for the show. That's why I was really odd that like I didn't really like the first one. Well, like it was like kind of slow to me at first. Like I'm like, man, I don't really get it. Yeah, Mark Hamill was ridiculous. Like Mark Hamill was I'm like, oh shit, that's Mark Hamill. No, Yuri Tripley says, I'm currently rewatching Avatar with my mom. Yeah, book one was a tad slow, but it was amazing from that point onwards. That's facts. Because book two and book three were fucking ridiculous. I really love book two and book three. Zuko's like redemption arc was so good. Like, and it wasn't like a fake ass redemption arc, or they're just like, oh man, this is anime, we're friends. They was like, man, nobody fucking trusts you, better get the fuck out of here. I felt like I would not have liked Avatar if I couldn't binge it on Netflix. AJ, I'm gonna be real. I think so too. I think I'm right there with you. And because I had seen episodes of Avatar before. It's not like I had never seen it before. It's just that I didn't commit to it. But like it does a lot though. Like there's a lot to like kind of like that they give you in this show, right? Especially for the fact that like they're kids. They had like Sokka was dating like the moon. Like what the fuck? Like what? Like that shit was crazy. And they're like little kids too, right? And I guess like in the world where people literally they sending kids off the war is it kind of makes sense in the scope of things, right? But it's still like, god damn, Uncle Ira being fucking godlike, like being like, you know, the voice of wisdom the entire time. Is it Iroh? Why Ira? I don't know why I did that. Iroh. Is it Iroh? I can't. Iroh was literally like, bro, you fucking up. Like I'm trying to help you, but he was still patient with Zuko. Right? And it's maybe because he was looking at him like he was his own son, which he said. That was really, really cool. And then, like, I'm going to tell you right now, right? Like, after the Zuko thing happened, where Zuko was, like, against the Fire Nation or going, like, kind of at odds with them, I was like, what the fuck are they going to do? Introduce his sister? Because I was like, that sister's not going to come back, is she? And I'm like, oh, shit. Damn, the sister's an actual asshole. Like, what the fuck? Also, like, another, like, just dope, like, bad character. I like the fact that, like, it all started with like Katara and like Sokka like finding the Airbender. I love the fact that like even though Sokka like learns a lot, like he goes through his own little growing paces to become like an even more flushed out character. Man, Sokka was hooking up with all the baddies though. Like what the fuck? This dude was the goofy dude and he was dating the moon? Badass warrior princess? What the fuck? Also, let me just point out. The way that they animated like the water bend, like the benders, that shit looked amazing. And instantly, once I like got further in the series and they showed them like doing like the different bending, especially when Toph was doing the bending where she was like grabbing shit, like that shit was dope. You know, a lot of times, and I will say, Avatar definitely gave me like the JoJo's feel because of how they like utilize their powers, right? Like. Everybody had their own little power where it would be like, you know, earth bending, water bending, air bending, fire bending, but they used it in like different creative ways. And I was like, oh shit, that's kind of cheap, right? Like, yo, Katara with the fucking blood bending, that shit is broken as a motherfucker, bro. It is so fucking, bro. That episode, I'm pretty sure I got a clip in here from this shit. This fucking lady, bro, that's broken. Like, it makes, like, that's what started to happen. This is one of the reasons I really like this show, right? Like, once Toph was like, yeah, man, like, there's no metal bending. Like, how come people didn't make that a bigger thing, right? Like, I felt like that was a bigger thing. But once I saw Toph do, like, the metal bending thing, I was like, so it does work like that, right? Like, they weren't thinking about it on, like, the elemental level all the time. Like, they worked up to believing that. But once they introduced, like, the fact that, like, you can go more on the chemical element side of things and be like, oh man, there's actually air and there's water in the air, like H2O. I'm like, oh shit, these guys are getting cheap. Yo, you Weeb Tripoli, I definitely have not watched Korra. I don't even know if I'm gonna watch Korra. That was the question I was gonna ask you guys after this. Yes. The character arcs are actually crazy. Zuko eventually becoming like this well-rounded character, well-written character with like proper character development actually made sense. And it wasn't like some over the night like anime thing, right? I will give Avatar this over a lot of anime. The way that they built the relationships were so good. Like they're like, it's good in the sense of like not a lot of anime do it, and not a lot of like live action shows know how to do this, right? No, the anime, I'm gonna tell you right now. So after I finished watching Avatar, it gives you the clip of what to watch next, and of course Korra was there. The animation is fucking ridiculous. But no, and even like the deeper side of it, right, where they were going to all these different like places where Aang had grew up and knew about, and him telling, you know, the rest of the crew, the Avatar, that what was that, Team Avatar, telling the rest of Team Avatar about like how it was at the time, the things that have changed and what he's learned. Like you see Aang like changing as well, right? Because he went into the ice like with a lot of pent up stuff, but like he came out and towards the end he learned it. And I'm gonna tell you some shit, like some real shit. I knew the writing was ridiculous because like at the end, right? So I think I just binged the entire fucking book 3. I'm pretty sure I just binged the whole thing. And like, and I was like, all right, I know it's only one more book left, right? I knew this is the last like book, but like I wasn't sure when they were gonna fight like the Fire Lord or whatever, right? And I had seen nothing from book 3. Maybe nothing from book 3. I saw like Toph when they fought like the owl, and I think that was book 2, right? So that was all I had seen of like Toph. No, just like the team overall, like even like Katara like coming into her own, right? And like becoming like a master waterbender. She was fucking cheap too, bro. She got good hella fast. I was like, bro, they calling her a master, as they should. Like, cause she was broken. Also, like there's not many, if any, wasted episodes for this entire thing. So that means all the character art and the building stuff, it all comes like back full circle in some instances. But nah, man, I loved Avatar, man. A 9 in my books. Shit was crazy good. Shit was crazy good.